Hello and welcome to What's Happening, everybody. My name is Andrew Tillotson, and I am the Online Engagement Manager here at Water's Edge Church. If you didn't know what this is our video called What's Happening, and we like to take a deep dive in the exciting world of ministry, and we're joined by a special guest. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest. We are joined by the Executive Director of Operations, that is TJ Terry. How are you doing today, TJ?
I'm back. Hi, guys.
You back? What was that, 2-3 weeks? Maybe
I don't
4
even
weeks?
know. Seems like forever.
Did you miss him, y'all? Did you miss him?
That's
I know
right.
I
I'm
did. But we had some awesome guests, and
That's right.
now we just have some quick announcements for you. I know that you probably already know a little bit about TJ, that he loves pies, that he's got an awesome wife and some great kids. So we're going to jump straight into our announcements and what's happening here. So Women's Night, y'all. Who had a great time at Women's Night? Put it in the chat if you had fun. I would love to see some of the feedback, and I know I saw some of the pictures that y'all sent in, and wow, that was... I mean, there was so many people there that looked like they were having a blast.
Great. So much fun.
And TJ was holding it down on the
That's right.
on the
Silent
tracks.
disco.
That was awesome. And then I got to make mocktails. I got to have fun little cotton candy mocktails. And if y'all had fun, let me know. Let's see it in the chat. And then also, is someone coming to Fearless, the 2024 Women's Night?
Yeah.
I would love to see who's already got a pre-registered ticket, or if you're thinking about cool ideas or what to wear. What are you going to do for Women's Night next year? We just want to know. And I hope you had a blast. You know, we had fun. I know on the staff. A lot of the people that I was hanging out with and worked the event with, it was even fun for us working it. So I'm glad that you all had a great time. And for those of you who missed it, be sure to sign up for next year, because those events, or that ticket is live, I believe. So in terms of other announcements, what we have is the online Facebook community. So if you guys have not heard about the online Facebook community, I want you to get out your phone right now, and you're going to text Facebook to 36769. And what you're going to get is a link. And that link is going to take you straight to the online Facebook community. So in there, what can you expect? Well, just a community that loves and cares about each other and is walking on their journey in faith together each step of the way. You know, we love to reflect back on Pastor Stu's sermons each day, and we do that in different ways. So, you know, we have Music Mondays, we've got Trivia Tuesdays, Welcome Wednesdays, and Testimony on Thursday. We've really got a really intentional approach to how we do the online Facebook community, and we would love to see you there. We just want to connect with you and say hi. See me in there. So in other news also, we have Salvations, which is the biggest thing that we celebrate here. We get fired up when it comes to Salvations, and we had one. Tina, congratulations. I just want to say congratulations for lighting up that bulb and saying yes to Jesus. We have our virtual change sign on our website, where you'll see it's just changed, and there's light bulbs, and you'll see on the G it lights up. It's like do, and each one of those bulbs actually represents somebody who said yes to Jesus. And Tina, you are the next light bulb, and so I just want to say thank you. And I know TJ, you saw her on the 5:30 service.
It was funny too, because you'd think online, you know, you see exclamation points, but you could, I don't know, I could feel the excitement of the online team, but of the people in the chat when Tina took that step, which is so great.
I get to look back at it. You let me go to service at 5:30 so I can sit with my mom, and I get to look back at the chat, and what you said, I can see it just in the reports. As people are going nuts. And so, you know, there's ways for us to take next steps in our faith online. And Tina showed us right there. She's got so excited about saying yes to Jesus, and is even now considering getting baptized. So I just want to say congratulations, Tina, and we will see you. I'm so glad you're part of our community, and you're lighting a bulb saying yes to Jesus. That's the best decision you could ever make, and really what we live for here at Water's Edge Church. So that goes ahead and does it for our announcements. I think what we would like to do next is just roll right into that sermon clip. So without further ado, let's roll that clip.
I'm going to tell you how to make a good sermon great. Apply what you've learned. Because the only way the word works is if you work the word into your life. We love to hit the like button on the Bible verse on Facebook, and we're like happy about it. We love to hear a good sermon and walk out of here and forget it. But the key to you handling the stress in your life is actually found in applying what God says about the stress in your life. Because you're going to walk out of here into stressful situations. You're going to run into some stressful people. Your circumstances haven't changed. How do you walk out of here in peace? You do what God says. You do what God says. You apply it to your life.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I love. Probably I can't say number one. We'll say top 5 of the things that I love about Water's Edge Church is the practicality, is the next steps that we take. And how Pastor Stu gives us, like, we don't just get to soak it in on Sundays. We have these things that we can do to actually live out the Word of God and what and I just love the way he presents it, because it is so clear. You know, I growing up, I left church knowing, like, man, that's cool, those texts and those stories in the Bible, but what am I to do with that? Like, how am I going to actually live this out? And I mean, Pastor Stu just there is remember the Sabbath. Like, take that Sabbath when you need to rest. Right. And then find your purpose, discover that purpose. Just these practical ways to deal with stress. And for me, I know I needed that. How did you think the sermon went?
It's interesting you say that. I think I take it for granted sometimes, having been here for a while, that there are, and this is not a dig on other churches. I don't mean it like that. Not. But if we were to differentiate, you gave an example of, like, the intentionality of the messages, and there are definitely times where I'll watch a video online, whether that be another church or a TED Talk or a speaker at a conference, and they talk about concepts and ideas, and it's very intellectual, and it can even be intellectually stimulating, but I always walk away going, okay, but what do I do with that? It's like a bunch of ingredients and no recipe, right? And so as you were talking, I actually didn't plan to say this, but it's a Mr. Miyagi moment every Sunday. And so what I mean by that, if you haven't seen Karate Kid, shame on you, and not any of the new versions, the good old the original, and over a series of events, Mr. Miyagi's training, that's right, Daniel-san, to do the karate. Right. But he's doing it in an unconventional way. He's asking him to sand the floor or paint the fence or taking those steps. But in the moment where he's like had enough, right? He tests what he's been teaching him, and he's able to apply it to solve the problem that he's actually come there to get. And we get that every single week. I've never thought of Pastor Stu as Mr. Miyagi in my life, but I definitely can say that each week I don't ever have to walk away from a message wondering how that's going to impact me. Now, I think this message series is an extreme example of that. I think each and every week, very easy to say, oh my gosh, I know exactly how to apply that in my life. And I think this week you gave a couple of examples. Usually there's maybe one good nugget or two good nuggets or three good nuggets. There's so much this week that I think you take one of those and implement it, like Sabbath, and it can change the way you live your life. You take two of those, Sabbath, and making sure that you're on purpose. You're living on purpose. And I think those two alone, let alone the rest of what there is to unpack in it. And you're a martial artist for sure.
Definitely. And that, like I said, that's the drawing factor that kept me here, that kept me coming back, was these practical applications. And so if you're feeling stressed, like me, before this sermon, I was like, I knew that you had told me to Sabbath. You had really, really tried to get me to take that on. And I really appreciate that. And I know that's exactly what I should be doing. And so I should have listened when you said it, but I am going to 100% from now on remember that, because I do think that the best way that we can actually grow is applying what Pastor Stu's saying, right? Like, it's what he says in the sermon. It's a great sermon is the ones that you apply. And so the way that we can remind ourselves of what we've learned on Sundays are through these practical steps. And I would just invite you, for those of you who are watching, like, find that purpose through the growth track if you haven't already. And then remember what he said, those three things of remembering the Sabbath, right? Asking for help, and then actually using God as your ultimate helper. That those things will really, really do a lot for you in the long run when dealing with stress. Great. But that being said, we are not Pastor Stu, right? Nope. So if you haven't watched the sermon, please take a minute to go. We'll take 53 minutes, I think it was, to go back and watch the sermon, because it was like we just said, it was so full of practical applications to help you grow
Yep.
and really handle the stressful world that we live in. I mean, regardless of where you live, if you're in Pakistan, if you're in Kenya, if you're anywhere in the world, right here in Yorktown or
Yeah.
Newport News, we're all stressed at times.
Yep,
That
for
is
sure.
that's an emotion that we all feel, and I think that sermon that we had on Sunday, it's a great way to practically deal with those stressors. And so thank you for spending time with us today. I really appreciate you, TJ, for
Yeah,
taking time
absolutely.
out of your day.
Short and sweet.
I know you've got some very exciting things that you're working on.
Oh, sure.
That we won't share just yet, but just know that if you don't see TJ around here and there, no,
I'm hiding. No.
he is working on a really cool project. So thank you for taking the time out of your
Of
day
course,
to
yeah.
help us with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
and
Happy
be
to
here.
jump in.
Well, that does it for us for what's happening, and I hope you guys know a little bit more about what's going on at your church. And we will see you back next week as we close out our series, Asking for a Friend. See you. Bye.
Bye,
See
guys.
you later. Bye.
See ya.